जय गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Ram Hare Hare Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Jaya Gora Nitai Jaya Gora Nitai Gora Nitai Jaya Gora Nitai Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jai Harinam Sankirtan ki जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय So we are reading from chapter 11, the universal form, text number 3. Evam etad yathāttvam ātmānaṁ parameśvara draṣṭum icchāmi te rūpam aiśvaraṁ puruṣottama evam etad yathā tvam ātmānaṁ parameśvara draṣṭum icchāmi te rūpam aiśvaraṁ puruṣottama evam etad yathā tvam ātmānaṁ parameśvara draṣṭum icchāmi te rūpam aiśvaraṁ puruṣottama icchāmi te rūpam puruṣottama parameśvara icchāmi te rūpam aiśvaraṁ puruṣottamam evam etad ātmānaṁ parameśvara draṣṭum icchāmi te rūpam aiśvaraṁ puruṣottama evam etad yathāttha tvam ātmānaṁ parameśvara draṣṭum icchāmi te rūpam. Mataji's evam etad yathāttha tvam ātmānaṁ parameśvara draṣṭum icchāmi te rūpam aiśvaraṁ puruṣottama. Word by word meaning. Evam, thus, etad, this, yathā, as it is, ātha, have spoken, tvam, you, ātmānaṁ, yourself, parameśvara, O Supreme Lord, draṣṭum, to see, icchāmi, I wish, te, your, rūpam, form, aiśvaram, divine, puruṣottama, O best of personalities. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. O greatest of all personalities, O Supreme Form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. Please repeat. O greatest of all personalities, O Supreme Form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. Purport. The Lord said that because He entered into the material universe by His personal representation, the cosmic manifestation has been made possible and is going on. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he is inspired by the statements of Kṛṣṇa. But in order to convince others in the future who may think that Kṛṣṇa is an ordinary person, Arjuna desires to see him actually in his universal form, to see how he is acting from within the universe, although he is apart from it. Arjuna is addressing the Lord as puruṣottama is also significant. Since the Lord is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is present within Arjuna himself. Therefore, he knows the desire of Arjuna and he can understand that Arjuna has no special desire to see him in his universal form, for Arjuna is completely satisfied to see him in his personal form of Kṛṣṇa. But the Lord can understand also that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to convince others. Arjuna did not have any personal desire for confirmation. Kṛṣṇa also understands that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to set a criterion for in the future there would be so many imposters who would pose themselves as incarnations of God. The people therefore should be careful. One who claims to be Kṛṣṇa should be prepared to show his universal form to confirm his chain claim to the people. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patithanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we welcome all of you to this Bhagavad Gita class. So we were reading 10th chapter since last few weeks, and now we have just begun the 11th chapter. Staying in Vrindavan, we are all very fortunate that we get this wonderful association of devotees here so very easily. Wherever we go, we get to see sincere devotees. They are always inspiring us to be chanting Krishna's name, to be speaking about Kṛṣṇa, engaging in Krishna service. So it is very rare to have this opportunity of association with sincere devotees. And if we appreciate this, and if we keep expressing our gratefulness for this opportunity which we have got, will increase our absorption more and more in taking that association of sincere devotees. Otherwise, it becomes sometimes so easily accessible now by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. This wonderful program, this wonderful association of devotees is so very easy for us, and we might miss the chance to be appreciative of this fact that we are in the most wonderful land, Sri Vrindavan Dham, in the association of wonderful devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating this Krishna consciousness movement. So, the most rare gift in the whole creation is to get this association of sincere devotees of the Lord. It is the rarest gift that we can have. So, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he was feeling that he is crippled, he cannot walk, he is weak on the path of devotion, but he feels that strength when he understands that he has the stick in the form of mercy of Vaishnavas. He feels that he can continue to walk on the path of devotion. So this mercy of the Vaishnavas and the sincere devotees is so very important for all of us to be walking on this path of devotion. So I understand that this is the foremost duty we should be performing every day, that we are expressing our gratefulness to the sincere devotees of the Lord. So, on the other hand, we see that there are devotees who are struggling, like now we see summer is approaching. These wonderful devotees who make garland for the Lord every day is not easy. 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours a day sitting and making garland. Then there are devotees who are cooking in the heat of summer. 45, 46 degrees will be sooner approaching in Vrindavan. So, and there are so many devotees, like we have our farm project, there are so many devotees serving there. Then we have, so these devotees who are doing this struggle for the pleasure of the Lord are very rare. And to be serving this devotee is also a rarest opportunity we get. So whenever we get an opportunity to appreciate these devotees who are struggling to please the Lord, we should never miss that opportunity. And then Krishna appreciate our endeavors. But in case we in case we somehow get encouraged or somehow our mind diverts us to find faults with the struggling devotees who are trying to serve the Lord, then Kṛṣṇa will neglect us. To the same degree we find the fault, to the same degree Kṛṣṇa will neglect us. So it is very important that whenever we see devotees struggling to serve the Lord, we should be appreciative of them. And when we develop this desire to appreciate such devotees, then Kṛṣṇa, to the same degree, he appreciates us in our devotional services. Otherwise, we will see that there will be unforeseen challenges on the path of our devotional services. So, in other words, Kṛṣṇa wants us to be always appreciative. We should strive. Srila Prabhupada was telling that my temples are Vaikuntha. So we should try to create this Vaikuntha atmosphere. So Vaikuntha atmosphere, Vaikuntha means there is no anxiety, right? Kuntha is anxiety and Vaikuntha means free from anxiety. So in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, basically there is no anxiety because there is a lot of competition there. But the competition is to serve each other. Not that competition to show that I am better than the other person or I have some better qualities, but in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, the competition is to serve. How better I can serve the other Vaishnavas, how better can I serve the other devotees. That is the competition. And in that competition, every devotee try to push the other devotees upwards and forward and try to take that lower position. And this actually, it's a kind of difficult thing to understand for our current consciousness, that how by pushing ourselves as a servant or how accepting others as our master can give us a lot of enjoyment. Because nobody has trained us like this. The whole system is just contrary to this. The whole system is just opposite to what the Shastra is speaking. So it's a very bigger endeavor to understand this principle of Vaikuntha atmosphere. Vaikuntha atmosphere is only talking about love, there is no fear in that atmosphere, and there is no scope of any complaining or criticism of other. It is just about appreciation and assisting other Vaishnavas in their service to the Lord. So it is very important to have this Vaikuntha atmosphere so that we get this encouragement to continue. Otherwise, like yesterday, one devotee met me and he was telling so many things which I don't want to tell here, but in other words, he was feeling like quite discouraged to be practicing Krishna consciousness, and only thing I could tell him is that we should be appreciative of Lord Chaitanya's movement. I mean, ātmānaṁ, we are just focusing on the salt in the floor, but the real thing is the floor, right? Not the salt. Salt is just a pinch. So whatever shortcomings, if at all, we can perceive are there, is just too small comparing to the mercy and the causeless opportunity we have got in this moment of Lord Chaitanya. So when we miss our focus from this point, then we get this discouragement. Otherwise, the environment is so surcharged, everywhere devotees are just inspiring each other to be serving the Lord, being in association of devotees, reading Shastras, engaging into devotional service. It is so simple. Even a child can do it, even an old man can do it, anybody can do it. There is no challenges. But the challenges comes only when we deviate our focus from the real mercy which is coming incessantly. It is not stopping even. It is a continuous flow of mercy. Nobody can stop that mercy of Lord Chaitanya. It's impossible to stop. But still we feel those challenges because we struggle with our mindset. We deviate from that focus which we are supposed to be having. So we see in the life of associates of Lord Chaitanya that no one would ever speak about his own glory or about his own achievement or about his own success or performances, but rather they would rejoice in the smallest success of other devotees. When some other devotees do something wonderful or he gets some special blessing of Guru and Kṛṣṇa, then that is a very opportune moment for them to celebrate a festival. This is how the associates of Lord Chaitanya were. So this is what a mood a devotee should cultivate, and with this mood we can attract the mercy of Lord. When we have this eagerness to glorify devotees and eagerness to celebrate the success of other devotees, Kṛṣṇa gets attracted to us. So Lord Chaitanya stresses this point that there are only two principles for success in devotion. Number one is chanting of the holy name, and number two is service to the Vaishnavas. So we should try to strongly intertwine our lifestyle in such a fashion that we have no other time but to do these two things, chanting of the holy name and serving the Vaishnavas. If we just do these two things, if we follow these two principles, some mouse. I thought somebody is there. Somebody is accompanying me at least. So these two principles are very, very important. Service to the devotees and chanting the holy name. So here in this shlok, we see that Arjuna is asking Kṛṣṇa to show universal form. So Prabhupada writes in the Purport that Arjuna is not bewildered now. He is very clear that Kṛṣṇa is a Supreme Personality. He has accepted it in the previous chapters. But he is asking this question so that in future, the product of Kali Yuga, as we say, they should not get bewildered about who is God. So Kṛṣṇa was asked or requested by Arjuna to show his universal form, so that if anybody claims himself to be God, then we can question him. If you are claiming yourself to be God, please show your universal form. So this is a kind of compassion Arjuna is showing to the fallen souls of this age. Out of compassion, he is asking this question so that we who are living in this age of Kali Yuga might not be cheated by so-called preachers who project themselves to be God. Like today we were hearing in Bhagavatam class, Dinabandhu Prabhu was doing like this, that we have this machine of manufacturing God in India. So it is, every moment we see some God is getting manufactured here. He was showing the handle rotating like a ganna machine, sugarcane machine, but it was so easy. This is what he feels. It is so easy to have getting confused about who God is. So as a preacher, Arjuna has this compassionate mood and he asks this question. So similarly, the preacher in this Krishna consciousness movement should be also very strongly pushing this point of who the Supreme Personality is. Well, Arjuna was happy worshipping Kṛṣṇa in his two-handed form. In the end, he again says, "Oh, this is too fearful." He was trembling, like he was not happy looking this form of Kṛṣṇa. And then he again requests Kṛṣṇa to show the two-handed form. So, in general, we see today everything is driven out of fear. So even most of the religion, there is a lot of fear preached to convince to follow a particular religion. That if you will not do this, you will go, this will happen to you, kind of different fear element is shown. And out of that fear element, people do whatever they are doing in the name of religion. But Kṛṣṇa is not like that. Here Kṛṣṇa is projected in his universal form as creator and destroyer. But real Kṛṣṇa, basically this is subordinate form of the Lord. Real Kṛṣṇa is one who just likes to spend his time in loving his devotees. This is what Kṛṣṇa wants. Krishna has no other agenda but to love his devotees and to attract love from his devotees for him. So this form is specifically, it comes in I think 8th shloka in this, it is coming that, I don't remember the exact statement, in the Purport Prabhupada says that this is a form which is not, sorry, this is devotees who are correctly situated in a transcendental relationship with Krishna are attracted by loving features and not by a godless display of opulence. So this universal form is kind of godless display of opulence. This is how Prabhupada is writing here. So devotees will not get attracted to it, but here Arjuna, as we hear, it is asking this as a compassion so that in future nobody can confuse devotees as to who God is. Also, we see that the souls are suffering in this world, and to the degree we try to enjoy, to the same degree we suffer. The more we try to, because this world is a place of miseries, dukkhalayam shashvatam. It is not possible to have that enjoyment in this material world. If you try to do that, there will be more hankering and there will be more lamentation. It will go on increasing. The more we try to enjoy, there will be more hankering and there will be more lamentation. It is like diving in the ocean and trying to remain dry. It is not possible. So same way in this material world, if somebody is trying to look for some enjoyment, it is not possible. It is the biggest illusion one can have. So Prahlad Maharaj gives a simple formula, and he explains this, that this is dukkhalayam, this is a place of miseries, we cannot be happy here, and trying to engage in this place, there will be only increase in our suffering, so we should try to go back to Kṛṣṇa. And Kṛṣṇa is inviting us to come back to him, but the only reason we don't go back is because we don't want to go back. Otherwise, Kṛṣṇa is inviting us, but the only reason we are here is because we want to live in this material world. The moment we try to be living, we understand that this is not the place where I want to live, then Kṛṣṇa is ready to accept us. But because of our attachment, because of our desire to be enjoying out of this material world, we are still hooked on to this place. That's the only reason. But the moment we understand that this is a place of lamentation, there is no point of hankering for any kind of enjoyment or happiness here. Like we heard this story, like the person was going for a wedding, they board a boat and they start moving in the night, and in the morning they see they are still at the same place because they forgot to remove the anchor. So this is like that. So if you try to look for happiness in this material world or try to achieve something out of this material world, it is the biggest error we are doing. So, to justify our material attachment, we might say, who is Kṛṣṇa? So this is another challenge people create. So where this universal form is also very important. People might say, who is Kṛṣṇa? Kṛṣṇa was a politician. Kṛṣṇa was having, dancing relationship with so many women belonging to other men. Or Kṛṣṇa is just some small coward boy performing some naughty pastimes, or Kṛṣṇa is just born in a family of a Vaishya. There are going to be so many things, And this argument is given in general just to establish a point by that person that he is the real enjoyer. Then only is putting this argument. If we accept Kṛṣṇa's supremacy, if we accept Kṛṣṇa as the enjoyer, if we accept Kṛṣṇa as the maintainer, as the proprietor of everything, then there is no argument left. But because they want to prove that we are the enjoyer, we are the creator, we are the maintainer, we can maintain this world, we can make this a better place, so we put this question, who is Kṛṣṇa? Who is Kṛṣṇa? It's so clearly defined in Bhagavad Gita by great saints, great acharyas. They are accepting Kṛṣṇa as Supreme Personality. We already read in the first 10 chapters, it is established fact. But still, Arjuna knew that there will be questions like this, so he said, okay, if somebody claims that he is God, and it goes to this extent where people say that I am God. It goes to that extent. We cannot understand this. Prabhupada says this so many times that people believe that they are like God because they want to be acting like God. All our actions are like God. We want to be enjoying this creation, which is not possible. The real enjoyment is in serving. The more we serve, the more enjoyment we get. But our enjoyment is exploitation. We are trained like that we exploit more and more, and we think we will enjoy, but the result is that we become more miserable. This is how the world is looking today. It is looking miserable. Wherever we see, there are challenges. Wherever we go, people are struggling. So, the root cause of this struggle and challenge is not accepting Kṛṣṇa as a supreme controller and trying to create a system which is independent of his system. So, it is very, very important to understand this principle, and Arjuna wanted to show everyone this particular point, and so he asked Kṛṣṇa that please show me your universal form. And he feared this form, but still it was important. He thought that it is important to ask this question and have this darshan of this universal form, which is like brilliant than thousands and lakhs of suns. You can't even see that. It is so fearful. And then he says, okay, I don't want to see, please come to your original form. So it is another point we can understand from here is that out of compassion he asked this. So as preachers, if Srila Prabhupada wanted all of us to be preaching these principles of Kṛṣṇa consciousness and helping others to adopt these principles of Kṛṣṇa consciousness in their life. But the mood which we are supposed to be having is, preachers should never think that I am better than someone else. Because we have assumed the position of preacher, we cannot think that we are better. It is just a service accepted on behalf of the previous acharyas, gurus or senior Vaishnavas. We cannot even think that we are better than the most sinful materialistic person. Even thinking that is a problem. Somewhere we will be facing more challenges if we think like this. So as a preacher, we just have to think that whatever we are doing is by the mercy of Guru and Kṛṣṇa. And when we think like this, we get more mercy, we get more mercy of Guru and Kṛṣṇa, more we can please Guru and Kṛṣṇa. Not that because we have assumed this service as a preacher, we are somebody who is above others. We have to be always present to this consciousness that we are not somebody better, we are just trying to follow the instructions, and by following these instructions, we will receive this mercy. And because we have received this mercy, it is our duty that this mercy has to be distributed to all the living beings. That is our duty, because we have received this causeless mercy from Guru, Kṛṣṇa, we have understood these principles of Kṛṣṇa consciousness, so we should be sincerely distributing this mercy to every living being we come across. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jare dekho tare kaho Kṛṣṇa updesh. He doesn't say, give Kṛṣṇa updesh to a rich man, give Kṛṣṇa updesh to an educated man, give Kṛṣṇa updesh to beautiful people, or give Kṛṣṇa updesh to somebody who is very powerful. He doesn't say this. He says, Jare dekho tare kaho Kṛṣṇa updesh. So this discrimination in preaching is not allowed. So it is very important that we follow this mood of compassion which Arjuna is showing here and try to practice whatever service we can render to spread this Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement. The more we try to follow this mood of preaching, the more mercy we get. So this is how we can spread the good fortune among the general mass by distributing Srila Prabhupada books, by distributing prasadam, by holding Harinam festivals, doing street sankirtans, and whatever other activities Srila Prabhupada has given, like opening the farm projects. People can be invited there to live a more simple life. So these are different opportunities we should give to the world where they can live a simple life and focusing more on the creation which the Lord has given us, spending more time in association of devotees than on doing lot of demonic activities. So it is so very important to develop this mood of compassion. Otherwise, we will lose, there is a risk of losing devotion. If we don't distribute what we have got, we will lose what we have received. So it is in a way very important. So Srila Prabhupada, on the instructions of his spiritual master, even at the age of 70, he left Vrindavan to spread the glory of Vrindavan. So all of us are very fortunate being in Vrindavan, and now Vrindavan is attracting millions of people. This is another special facility we have got, that now we don't have to move much out. People are coming here to take that blessings of Srila Prabhupada books, prasadam, kirtan. So at least we should actively participate in that and try to preserve that mercy which we have received by serving the devotees. And if we try to develop this mood of being servant of the servant of the servant, then Kṛṣṇa will reveal himself in his most beautiful sound of the holy name. And only then we will be able to understand what Srila Prabhupada meant when he gave this instruction that chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So I think we can end it here. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, comments, we have time. Yes, Prabhu.
I was just thinking, you said don't discriminate to whom you are giving. So I'm usually preaching in colleges. So I go to KD Medical College where, they're medical students. Today I went to the Ayurvedic college and the students were very much interested because, it's part of Sanatana Dharma, this Ayurvedic science. And I was so happy that I was thinking I should give more priority to these students because they're taking it so nicely, like that. So is that discrimination now?
No, I don't think so, because you are doing it as a regular service. You are going to different colleges, and this is how Kṛṣṇa is. When you keep doing your service, sometimes he will give you challenge, and sometimes he will give you a lot of wonderful success, and then you feel nourishment. Oh yes, like when a book distributor goes out, sometimes nobody buy books for hours, and then after some time, somebody he will meet, he will buy 10 books. So basically what I see is your struggle was appreciated now, because you are struggling every day going to colleges. I don't know what is your schedule, but I'm just thinking like that, the wonderful service you are rendering by trying to spread out this Kṛṣṇa consciousness to youths, specifically going to colleges. And now Kṛṣṇa has given you this opportunity where he got you connected with somebody who is more sincere and more interested in Sanatana Dharma teaching. And now you feel that. But I also agree that it doesn't look like discrimination. Because you didn't plan it like that. That I will only go to these people, I will not go to others. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय।